Morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Sorry, I've still got my very deep, throaty voice today. Can't get rid of this bloody cold thing. So annoying. Morning, Amy. Morning, Danny, Yusuf. Morning, Noob on a Grind, Neo, Paul, Mumo, JC, Church. How are we all doing? I need that nice up move from the intro on Euro US dollar soon. Yes, that would be good, wouldn't it? The US dollar is in a very weird state at the moment. Morning, Jules. Evening, even. Morning, evening. Vitaly, not doing so well because of US dollar CAD. Please call somebody. Yeah, US dollar CAD needs a phone call. Morning, Sarah. The danger with the US dollar at the moment is obviously we are very, very fast approaching the election, and election time is very weird with the US dollar. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. So, do not want to buy any more of your Epic pen. Every time I launch it, it tries to sell me something. This morning on the indices, no pre-market trades on DAX or FTSE. Market's too tight this morning. So very, very small pre-market ranges for me. So we'll be taking a 5-minute ORB today. DAX has already gone. So if you have taken a pre-market today, well done. You're off. It's too small though for me with my broker, so I'm not on that. But we'll be attempting to get on a 5-minute ORB, although if it pushes much further, I don't think I'm going to get on that anyway because it's going to be too big. Very quick out the gates today. Morning, Sarah. Roger. Morning, Forex Fire. Excuse me if I cough all the way through the stream this morning. This cold thing that I've had, whatever it is, it's going around a lot. But it's like, I don't know, it's like a chameleon. It just keeps changing constantly. So I felt really bad on Friday again. And then on Saturday. And then yesterday I felt an awful lot better. And Saturday evening I felt an awful lot better. I woke up this morning, it's all gone to my chest. But now I've got no problem with nasal, no headache or anything. So I don't know what it is. It's some kind of evolving cold that never goes away. Anyway, probably the start of cordyceps or something. We're all going to turn into zombies. Anyway, I watched World War Z at the weekend with the kids. So been watching lots of zombie films. Right, so just see what happens with this at the open. Got 2 minutes to go. While we're waiting for that to open, we'll look at the news. So weekend news. Iran shot a missile at Netanyahu's house over the weekend. Obviously, I presume it didn't get through. So, little bit of escalation in the Middle East in the fact that they tried to take out Netanyahu's house, but obviously that didn't get through. Apart from that, not an awful lot more escalation. So nothing much else happening from the Middle East perspective. We're going back now to Friday. So really nothing else happening from the weekend. So that was pretty much it. We had US housing starts and building permits on Friday, which didn't really do an awful lot. So that's your weekend news. Morning, Virginia. This week, we've got a very, as you can see, have to scroll down to get the entire week's worth of news in this week. It's a big week for news. We've got the BRICS summit going on today. Actually, it's today and tomorrow, isn't it? 2 days. So this is to do with the new BRICS, I don't know what you call it, conglomerate, I guess. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All clubbing together, basically trying to oust the US basically as the leading currency. So over 50% of all transactions go through the US dollar. They're trying to basically rectify that by going, we're not going to use it anymore. So they're going to use their own currencies. They're going to incorporate their own banking system. So what they're trying to do is kind of segregate the world into East and West. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but it's been going on for sort of 5 odd years. Everybody's saying it's the end of Forex, it's the end of the world, it's the end of economy, it's the end of everything. Nothing's happened. So at some point in the next 5 years or so, we might find ourselves predominantly trading the South African currencies, whatever. So, if basically trading is about trading what moves. If the US dollar stops moving because everybody starts transacting through these currencies, we'll just stop trading the US dollar and we'll start trading those currencies. You basically go where the money is, basically. Yeah, trading block, as Virginia's just said. So basically, it's they're just trying to shoehorn themselves away from the dependency on the US dollar, basically, is what it is. So it makes sense for them because obviously they're all in that area. Shipping, like Japan, for example. I keep using Japan as an example with the yen. It's in their interest to keep the exchange rate on the yen below 150 because otherwise it becomes uneconomical to ship all your goods over to the US. If they are in bricks, wouldn't mean anything with it. If they could export all their goods to their own area, the shipping costs are cheaper, therefore cost of doing business is cheaper, therefore the reliance on the currency is cheaper, is less impactive. So, so that's what it's all about anyway. But that starts today. It's not likely to move the market unless one of them comes out and says, do you know what, we're not going to spend any more US dollar from today onwards. Then the US dollar might have a problem, but that's highly unlikely to happen. We've got Bailey speaking this afternoon. This is going to be quite an impactful one. We're waiting for Bailey to confirm the next interest rate drop. More importantly, what he thinks it's going to be. So we could have some decent movement on the pound this afternoon. At the moment, we don't really know exactly what they're going to do with it. We know that we've gone below our interest rate, our inflation target substantially. We've overshot it quite a lot. And we are unbelievably high with interest rates. If they stay at this level, this is going to come down and collapse. That can't happen. They've got to get this down fast. And I suspect, I'm hoping today, he comes out and says, we're going to drop 0.5% in November or October, whenever the next one is. But yeah, so that's going to be fairly impactful today, potentially. So keep your eyes peeled on that. We've also got Harker speaking and we've got Lagarde speaking this evening as well. So there's an awful lot of talking head news today, but no scheduled news. Tomorrow, we've got the Canadian interest rates. They are dropping by 0.5%. So weakness in the Canadian dollar is anticipated. It's unlikely we'll get more than that. It could happen though, yeah. I mean, this is kind of what I'm saying. Look, 1.6 inflation, 1.7, 1.7, 3.4, 4.25 reducing to 3.75. We're still at 5. This has got to come down fast. So it's exactly what they should be doing. The Canadians dropping it 0.5%, so that's the right move. The market's already factored that in, so it's not necessarily going to drop the Canadian tomorrow. If they go further than anticipated, it will. If they don't do what they're anticipating, obviously that will have an impact too, but unlikely to make a massive move tomorrow. We'll probably get an ADR out of it, but whether it's a sustained rally, we'll wait and see. So that's it tomorrow. ECB talking again. We've got the Bank of Canada press conference. So this is the important part. So we get the interest rate and we go, yeah, we know that's what you said you were going to do. Well done. Thanks. We've already factored that in. At 3:30, we say, what are you doing next? So that's the important part. We're going to find out what the forward guidance is for the Canadian dollar. We've got Bailey speaking again tomorrow night. Unlikely he will say anything that he doesn't say here. So that's probably going to be less impactful. Then we've got the PMIs on Thursday. So it's PMI week this week. Sorry, I've got that completely wrong, haven't I? Monday, today, we've got no news. Yeah, sorry, Newborn guys just pointed that out. So we've got no news today. Tomorrow is when BRICS starts and no news. So Bailey speaking tomorrow. So everything I just said, wind it back a day. So there's nothing going on basically for 2 days. The market starts on Wednesday this week. So yeah, Thursday we've got PMIs. I was going to say, the reason that twigged in my head then was because PMIs are always on a Thursday. So I was like, hang on a minute. That can't be right. So yeah, PMIs on Thursday. Obviously, massive volatility all over the place on Thursday. And then we go into CPI for the yen, which we know is dropping, and CAD retail on Friday. So basically the week is all focused around midweek this week, Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll have to wait and see what the market decides to do today. It's open pretty weak, but so that's your week ahead. There's a lot going on this week. So yeah, it's a 3-day summit. Yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the BRICS thing. But yeah, shouldn't really do an awful lot that. Right, so far too big the move on the FTSE this morning. Oh, just though, look at that, 175 maximum range, 175. If that had been 1 pip lower, I'd be long on that now, but I'm not. So not taking anything on the FTSE this morning. It's already done 20% of its average daily range on one candle, so it's done, as you can see, a lot of movement. So the reason we have these limits here, minimum and maximum, is basically if it does 20% of its average daily range within 5 minutes, for you to get a 2R on it, you're going to need it to move 60% of its average daily range in the session, which is a lot harder to achieve. So so today's upside target, for example, if you were going to take the break, which is pretty much that entire candle, isn't it? Yeah, so to get a 1R, you're going to hit that resistance. A 2R, you're going to be up at the monthly. So, you know, it's a lot harder to get a big break when you've got a big opening range. DAX, however, fairly decent range on the DAX today. So taking a break of that one. Hopefully it breaks bear, because if we can get back down into this propulsion gap, I think we've got a good chance of retargeting this low. We are slightly bullish on the DAX at the moment, but pullback would be good today. But it doesn't matter. Whichever way it goes, I go. So we're either going to break up into the weekly highs, or we're going to break back down and retest this low from Friday, which is pretty much ADR today. So we'll see where we go. But no breaks so far, no trades either. Not a lot of volume on the DAX this morning. FTSE's all right, but the DAX is very, 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 very quiet today. Not a lot. Morning, Toshio. How we doing? You say conglomerate, they say axis of evil. Yeah. This is the problem, isn't it? The whole world is split at the moment, isn't it? We're just disagreeing. Everybody's disagreeing with everybody about everything, which is never good. So if you're coming into the members streams this morning at 9 o'clock, we are covering this week. We've got split it into 2 parts this week. First part of the week is all about indicators. So we're going to be looking at the 3 main types of indicator out there: condition, signal, and level. We're going to look at what each type is telling you, and basically how to identify indicators that are the same. So partly why I wanted to do this session is these kind of 2 or 3 sessions. People contact me all the time with strategies saying, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And I say, that's telling you this. This is this strategy. That's this strategy. That's this strategy. And basically what they're doing is they're finding a strategy that is exactly the same as another strategy they've just traded, but they don't know it because it uses a different indicator. So they'll trade a Bollinger Band mean reversion strategy. They'll throw it away because it's not very good. And then they'll trade a stochastics mean reversion strategy. It's the same thing, but you don't know it because you don't understand the correlation between stochastics and Bollinger. So it's all about explaining what indicators are telling you, why they're telling you what they're telling you, and how to filter them all out. So when you see these people out there where they give you these strategies that says you've got a RSI, you've got a stochastic, and a MACD, when those 3 line up together and you get this happening up here, you go short. These 3 are all telling you exactly the same thing. You're just basically getting 3 things to line up the same, which makes your strategy 10 times more complicated and open to 10 times more fluctuation, which means it's 10 times more likely to fail. So it's all about looking at indicators basically so that everybody understands what they're all doing. There is only 3 types of indicator. Yeah, you only need 1 of each, and it doesn't matter which one you pick, they all do the same thing. So that's what it's about this week. And Thursday and Friday, we're going to look at daily trading strategies. So we are going to be trading dailies, which is lovely. I have loads of daily strategies that work really, really well. They just don't take many trades, but they are very, very good. So we're going to look at some daily strategies and seeing if we can put together a portfolio of multiple daily strategies. So at least we can try and get a trade a day out of it. Yeah, and basically build a strategy portfolio basically on the daily time frame. So that's this week. Should be exciting. If you want to know about indicators, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. If you want to know about daily time frame strategies, Thursday, Friday. If you want to know about all of it, every day. Right, so if you're watching on replay, don't forget to leave a comment. I'm going to run through all the pairs this morning. We're going to look at, there is no ADRs, as you can see, there's no weeklies because it's Monday. We've got a couple of monthlies, which we'll look at. But I'm going to run through all the pairs today and see where everything is. How should I navigate to the key fundamentals page? I'm getting rid of it, basically. That's why it's not on the website anymore. It's here. But I'm taking it down. I'm not using it anymore. Basically, this costs me about £700 a year to have this website up. It's just I just can't be bothered to maintain it and keep it going. Basically, it has problems like this, right? For some reason, commitment to traders graph isn't loading. Yeah, I'm not going to spend a day on something that doesn't make any money for me and I don't need. So I'm scrapping it, basically. The fundamentals are all out there. If you want retail sentiment, there's loads of places out there you can get retail sentiment. If you want the commitment to traders report, there's loads of places out there you can get it. If you want to know key fundamentals, trading economics, it's just you'll have to fiddle around and find what you want. I've just done it in a nice easy chart. But at the end of the day, you could keep a spreadsheet of this. So, but that's where it is at the moment, but it is going. Somebody contacted me and said, this isn't working. Help. Why is this chart not showing? I'm like, well, the data's all there. It's like, yeah, but I can't see the graph. I can't trade today. What do you mean you can't trade today? If your whole trading strategy is running off my free website that gives retail sentiment from brokers, you're in trouble. Sorry, but yeah. 95% of the market are short on the US dollar CAD. That's good. We need to be buying it. So yeah, anyway, it's there. When you were doing prop, how did you navigate the no news trading 10 minutes before and after? I didn't have that. I didn't have it, so I didn't navigate it. If you've got, depends which prop firm you're with, Roger, but some of them don't allow you to have trades open over news. Some of them don't allow you to take new trades before or after news, but allow you to keep open trades you already have. Some of them want you to be 100% flat. Some of them don't give a about news, basically. So I pick which, I don't know. If your prop firm doesn't allow you to trade news and you want to trade news, change prop firm. But it's a rule, isn't it? So if I had a rule which said I can't trade news, I would have to shut my positions. There's no way to navigate it. You shut it. The reason they don't let you trade news is because you can make a lot of money. Yeah. Again, we keep coming back to this fact. Yeah. Prop are about making you lose money and taking your money from your bank and putting it into theirs. That's their job. They're not trying to find good traders. They're not trying to fund people to make their lives better. They are out there to make $12 to $15 million every month from you giving them money for demo accounts. That is the job. If you want to pass prop, the best thing you can do is go and get a $5,000 demo account. See if you can take it up to about 8 to 9K. If you can do that twice, go and fund a 5K account with your own money, because you're doing exactly the same thing on prop. You're just paying £500 for the privilege every time you buy a demo account. Yeah, stop doing it. So much easier to do it with your own money. And then you haven't got to worry about the news, have you? So the reason they don't let you trade the news is because if I am short on the US dollar yen and I get a 150 ADR move down on the US dollar yen, I will close my trade out there and go, oh, that was great. But I just made a load of money, and they don't want you to do that because they have to pay it to you. Sorry to be very bad news, but that's what it works. That's how it works. You ruined that poor man. I know. Yes, he's not going to be able to trade anymore because this doesn't work. The whole reason I built this out was because of this directional bias scorecard. Because I wanted to build a scorecarding system of my own. The problem is this doesn't work at the moment. Yeah, scorecarding doesn't work because it's a way to gauge interest rate differential bias, which is what drives the Forex market. Everybody is doing the same thing with interest rates, and they have been since COVID. So when I built this whole system out just after COVID, I suddenly realized it's useless because COVID has meant that we've all done exactly the same thing. Every country, every Forex major has done the same thing. At the same time, we went to negative interest rates. At the same time, we started interest rate rallies. At the same time, we stopped interest rate rallies. And at the same time, we are dropping interest rates. At some point in the future, this might become relevant again, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years. But until then, there's no point in me paying to have this thing up. Like I say, I have to have this up, maintain it. If it takes a day, a month of my life to just muck about with it, it's just not worth it. For me, personally. But I thought about the members stream. Would a paid one-time pass be useful for those who are interested in a specific session? They don't do that. YouTube don't have that. So key fundamentals page is going as well. Yeah, but if you want all of this, just go to Trading Economics. Yeah, Trading Economics, brilliant website. Go there. So this is the interest rates. Sorry, this is, what is this? Inflation rate. So this is the inflation rate. You can download it. With this thing, yeah. So I built this. I'm going off on a tangent again, obviously, but I built this thing here so that I had a quick, lazy way to instantly see what all the key fundamentals are. Yeah. Right. At the end of the day, what this is a spreadsheet on here. Yeah. You could run your own spreadsheet with this information, and every time it comes out, you update it. This does it automatically, but it costs me £1,000 a year. To do this manually in a spreadsheet would take me once a month, 5 seconds. And everyone can do this. So tomorrow, yeah, the interest rate is 4.25. So tomorrow, if this was a spreadsheet, I would come in here and I would change this 4.25 here. I would go, okay, I want to change that now to 3.75. Ta-da! How long did that take? Just do it yourself in a spreadsheet. And I probably will. I'll probably just set a spreadsheet up and just change it myself manually. It's the easiest thing to do because I'm in here looking at this every day anyway. This is how I used to do it. I just wanted to make my life easier, but I can't be bothered to maintain it. So many people are contacting me about this all the time. It's just taking up my life and I can't be bothered. Just wanted to say thank you. Your position trading bootcamp helped me to understand the market and strategies. Good. That's what it's there for. One can build that in Python in maybe one day. Yeah. I built this in no time at all. But it's the scraping thing. It's getting the data and the API connections and all that sort of stuff. Once it's up and running, it's fine. But you still have to pay for the data. Yeah. This is not free. Yeah. This data, you can view it for free. If you want it for free anywhere else, you have to pay for it. You could scrape it, but if they catch you, you'll be in trouble. So there you go. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the market. So weeklies, none, obviously, because it's Monday. Monthlies, we have Euro US dollar. Where are you? So what did I close out on Friday to start off with? I've only closed out one thing on Friday, which was the pound odd. So I got out my pound odd on Friday. I posted it in the group, but I took that off because basically since that propulsion move and that propulsion move, we've gone absolutely nowhere. Bailey, what I was waiting for and why I was holding this trade was for Bailey to confirm interest rate drop coming and the pound to tank. Bailey hasn't said a word, has he? He's talking tomorrow, so hopefully tomorrow that will come down. So yeah, so basically that's just sitting around doing nothing at the moment, so I decided to bank that. Euro US dollar, I banked one as well on Friday, so I took that one off just because I had like $400 odd and it was in profit, and I decided I want some money banked. So I wanted to bank some money, so I banked 1% on Friday, holding them, and I'll add that back on again if it comes back down again. So looking for a pullback on this leg at the moment. You can see how severe this US move is, obviously, when you scale out a little bit. We've had nothing but news. Last week, I had nothing but news go against me. Every single move I needed to happen last week, the market just went, here's the opposite news. So just sitting here waiting at the moment. We have started a pullback. So hopefully the reversal alert that we got on Thursday last week will hold. Oh, sorry, we didn't get one. Sorry, no, on the hourly we didn't get one, but we did on lower time frames. So I'm hoping that is going to break today, and then we'll start to rally up. So target at the moment is up in propulsion, which is this accumulation up here. So that's the closest target. There is another target here, but obviously it's not in profit for me, so I can't take that off there. So this is a monthly extension. It's the beginning of the month there. Yeah, so that's the start of October there. So as you can see, this month so far, we have done nothing but rally the US dollar. So we've hit propulsion. We are starting to find some buyers enter the market down here. I'm looking for a pullback up into here. Yeah, so come and retest the previous month at some point in the next few weeks. Obviously, it's all going to be down to news. So that's a monthly extension. We've also got monthly extension on the pound US dollar, pretty much the same thing. For those of you that came into the correlation member stream last week, obviously pound US dollar and euro US dollar correlated very heavily, so you're going to get the same movement. So as you can see, this has hit its monthly range as well and starting to bounce. However, we've got Bailey potentially going to tank that, hopefully, tomorrow. Pound. We got New Zealand dollar CAD also extended on the monthly. So again, opportunity. That's already played out. So that was a monthly extension. Already taken that one out. So that's done. Played out already. US dollar CAD and US dollar yen. So US dollar yen. It's extended already on the monthly, but as you can see, it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 days ish, kind of just sitting around doing nothing at the moment at this 150 level. So we've got to watch this 150 with the idea that the Japanese yen will power up from this level. And US dollar CAD, as we know, parabolic all month. So I took some off on this last week on Thursday, and added another one on Friday, which I've taken off this morning with a 0.3% loss, just in case this rallies. So I'm going to get this position back on again up here today if we test the weekly high. So I'm looking for them to retest the weekly high and see if there's limit orders there. If there's limit orders there, I'm going to get an aggressive and assume that this reversal is going to hold and we're going to get a double top reversal back down into this area. So I'm looking for it to drop this week. Canadian is likely to weaken this week, potentially. So it's a tricky situation, this US dollar CAD at the moment. This parabolic run for 9 days, we haven't had a parabolic run for 9 days before. So, you know, it's potentially looking like a flag break at the moment, but flag break is the start of a potential double top as well. So it could go either way. So really keenly watching this. It's within ADR today, last week's high. So we know that we got up to that level, and that's when the market sold off hard for 2 days. So we're looking to see if this is the end of the move and the profit take, or if this is just a partial and a re-add. And if it's a re-add, we're coming up to test the monthly highs, which is 225. If that's going to happen, I'm going to have to take some of this off because I've got too much on. So I'm looking to scale out or add in aggressive on this week, today probably. So when we get up to the weekly high, if we get to the weekly high, you can see I've got an aggressive short going in here. And if that fails and we break out and we don't come back down pretty quick, I'm going to scale out of some and start cutting some of this off because it's just not going at the moment. You know, it's just stuck. So last week was the first time we've had indecision on this, which is good because indecision starts before a reversal. So we are looking like it could potentially drop, but I was kind of hoping for a pullback short. We didn't get it. So as you can see, I'm targeting the highs of last month there. It's going to be a tiny little profit when I get there as well. It's just a horrible squeeze, this US dollar CAD at the minute. So that's obviously extended on the monthly as well. So big move there. RSIs at the moment, there's not a lot. There's nothing actually. RSI dashboard is flat. There aren't any. So there you go. Dead as a door now. So we'll have a look at the all the FX pairs. We'll run through the lot in one go. Okay, so we'll start with the yens. So take a quick drink. With all these squeezes, it now make so much sense to do RSI 80-20. Yeah. RSI 80-20 will always get you in later, but it means you will miss trades. There is no right or wrong. We'll cover indicator. We're doing indicators today, and tomorrow, and in fact, yeah, we're doing condition indicators tomorrow. Actually, we're doing signal and condition indicators tomorrow, but we'll be covering them today. So all these things are telling you is what's just happened. Yeah, you this indicator here. If I got rid of this, I can tell you by what price has done what the readings are, because all this does is track price. Yeah, so it's a way of signaling something's happened, basically. Whether you use that level or that level is up to you, but that level is always going to give you better signals than that level if you are mean reversion trading. But this condition in this indicator is a condition indicator. It can be used for any trading strategy. It can be used for breakout strategies. It can be used for mean reversion, as I use it, or it can be used for trend strategies. A lot of people use this in trend trading. Yeah, if you've got a reading above the 50, you stay in the trend. If you're reading below the 50, you exit the trend. Yeah. So these are condition indicators, and they tell you what the condition of the market is. That's literally all they're doing, is showing you and signaling and going, flashing light, something's happening. So yeah, 80-20 is always going to get you in later on squeezes, which is why I use it. I would rather be in later on a squeeze or in higher on a strong mean reversion than in early, making money consistently and being in bigger drawdown. Yeah. So for me, it's all about drawdown control. And the later you get in, the better. At the end of the day. CAD news on Wednesday. Yeah. What's your thoughts about soft commodities? I don't know. Never traded them. No, never traded them. Wheat, sugar. Yeah. Don't know. Don't have them in most brokers. So. Just never looked at them, but I mean, they'll move, won't they? They'll move the same as everything else. Oh my God. I mean, I haven't. It's not going to be in stocks, is it? I don't have it. See. It's never come on a radar. It's not tradable. So therefore I can't trade it. Simple as that. Right, yens. I'm going to start with the yens and cover all the yens in one go. At the moment we are stuck. All of them. Absolutely stuck. Last week, as you can see, is an inside bar on the previous week. And the previous week is a sort of inside bar on the previous week. So we've got an inside bar and an inside bar and an inside bar. Yeah, this thing's not going anywhere. Yeah, so all the yen pairs at the moment, entirely up to you what you want to do with them. I'm just not trading any yen. The only thing I want to do is long it because I want to carry trade, and at the moment it's just not giving any signals to do anything. So I think most traders are in the same sort of thing with the yen at the moment. We're all kind of reeling from the biggest intervention ever in history, and nobody having any clue what to do with the yen, because for 20 years we've traded it the same way, and now they've changed their economics, they've changed their interest rate approach, they've intervened with the biggest intervention, they've liquidated all their US assets, they've basically become a different entity. They are no longer the yen we used to have. Therefore, what the hell do you do with this now? So for me, and I think a lot of people, we're just watching this thing and seeing what the market makes of it. How are you going to use this now? We used to use the yen as a carry trade instrument. It's not a carry trade instrument anymore because their interest rates are gradually creeping up. So yeah, don't know what to do with it. I'm not doing anything. So from a position trading perspective, I'm not doing anything with it. From an intraday perspective, as you can see, contracting ranges. So that was 3-week range, that was 2-week range, that is 1-week range. Yeah, it's just not doing anything. It's not going anywhere. So your guess is as good as mine with it. The only thing I do know is that we are approaching the US dollar yen, the 150, and we tested it on Thursday last week and immediately came back down again. So this level here obviously is the previous intervention. If they still want to hold this level, the Japanese, we shouldn't be going above it. So we'll wait and see what happens, really. This is what I'm watching, really, to see what the market makes of this level. If we get the same thing as before, it could just grind. They could continue to try and carry trade this, but good luck. You know, I don't know what's going on with it. So I'm not trading it at the minute. It's very hard to trade something that doesn't move. Yeah, as traders, the only way we make money is by market movement. Yeah, if something doesn't move, it's very hard to make money out of it. And if you have to hold a trade for many days and you've got negative swaps on it, it just ends up hemorrhaging your account. So there's just no point really in getting involved in this. As you can see, this thing, the only thing I can see to do with this at the moment is you sell that and you buy that. But as always, by the time you've identified this and you go, okay, that's a good idea, that will be the one that doesn't work. Yeah. And then you'll go off into a trend. So from a stop loss trading perspective, you've got very obvious levels to sell at. Somewhere around here is a good sell. Somewhere around here, or rather that whole area there, is a buy. So buy it somewhere around there, sell it somewhere around there. If that doesn't work out, sell it somewhere around here. Just wait for it to get to the levels. But at the moment, it's just contracting and not even able to get to levels. So you can't really trade it at the minute. It's just a mess, really, the whole thing. So yeah, not really bothering with the yens. The Swiss franc at the moment, Aussie dollar, let's just start with Aussie dollar CAD. Aussie dollar at the moment basically is kind of neutral. So at the minute we've got interest rates are stagnant. They're the only country that isn't changing interest rates at the moment. Their inflation is ticking the wrong way. So they are struggling to bring those interest rates down, meaning that this is sort of bullish to neutral. Everything else is bearish at the moment. Everybody else is dropping interest rates. So as the Canadian drops its interest rates, by default, this goes up. So want to be looking ideally for longs on all Aussie pairs. You had a lovely opportunity for one there from a double bottom on Thursday last week, or Wednesday overnight, Thursday last week. That was news that drove that up. Reversal alerts, long, yeah, just waiting for any ADR hits to the downside, RSI extensions to the downside on any time frame. The trouble is trying to find opportunities. So 4 hourly, there was a good one there. Sorry, this is the wrong RSI. Let me just change that because I was looking at an RSI for someone else. So yeah, 4 hour RSIs, yeah, you not really had any signals. 70s, yes. 80s, there was a trade there. That was it. And that was just scaling from that one. So yeah, haven't really had an opportunity to get into this one at the moment. But again, like everything else, it's kind of a little bit contracty at the moment. The market's a little bit quiet at the minute with what's going on in the Middle East. I think we're just sort of, it's in caution mode, isn't it? If you look at the fear and greed index from last week, we're not really, where are we? There. We're not really in the fear mode, which is what you would expect when you have conflict. We are moving towards this area, which means the stock market obviously rallies. But anything in the Middle East kicking off will immediately send this screaming back the other way. So with FX movement, you don't really tend to get many strong trends during this type of market condition. Apart from the US at the moment, which is obviously off on its own little world, but that's probably because of the elections. So this isn't going anywhere at the moment, but I'd be looking for signals 80-20 RSI. But nothing much coming up. Haven't had anything. It's just nothing to trade on this one at the minute. Aussie dollar Swiss had shorts on from here, which worked out beautifully. EA took those. There was a long there as well. So yeah, working beautifully at the moment. But again, the Swiss franc is tracking. Again, if you were in the stream about correlation between pairs, Swiss and yen move together. As you can see, you got the same chart as you got on the yens. So at the minute, we are contracted. The Swiss franc is not moving anywhere. If it kicks off, you want to be shorting. Yeah, so it's all about positioning yourself in line with what could happen in the world with the Swiss, because it's a safe haven currency. So at the moment, we've got tensions. Therefore, you're better off shorting, because if it does kick off, this is coming down. Everything's coming down against the Swiss. But right now, it's just kind of flip-flopping around. Has been for 2 weeks. Again, getting difficult to get stuff on at the minute. Risk on, because there's not a lot of movement. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, had a couple of shorts on this. There's one there as well, which was another entry I took, which was I think that was an ADR extension, which I decided to get out of, but I shouldn't have. But again, not really going anywhere at the moment. Bias on this one is bullish based on fundamentals. But again, as you can see, not really going anywhere. The Aussie dollar's kind of just gone flat, because I think the market is expecting them to drop interest rates like everybody else at some point. So you don't want to go massively bullish on it, because that is likely to be the next move. However, there is no reason for them to do that at the minute, because their inflation is too high and it's going the wrong direction. Yeah, it's all going wrong in Australia. So this at the moment can't be dropped. And some would say that's not high enough. So, you know, there was talk about another interest rate rise from the Aussies, but that hasn't happened. I think they're waiting to see whether or not they can keep this under control, but it's not happening. So that needs to come down for that to come down, and it's not. So the minute kind of can trade the Aussie really in either direction, but they'll probably play out quicker than they will. So hits to the downside from ADR or any RSI extensions to the downside. But as you can see, it's just very, very little opportunity at the moment. Very, very, very rangy, which is lovely for mean reversion traders that are just taking stop-based strategies. Yeah, these are the times when you do backtesting with a position trader EA or the market reversal alerts EA, and you're using any kind of stop-based strategy where you're just getting out of the trade when it doesn't work. At these times, you'll be like, holy crap, and it will just print money. And then it won't. You know, so it's all about matching the strategy to the market condition. And at the moment, we are just sideways on everything. So Aussie US, I've got longs on at the moment. I've got 2 longs on this at the minute. Sorry, 3 longs on this at the minute. Again, very similar move to the other US pairs, obviously, as you would expect, because it's a US pair. But we got a multi-day accumulation, or rather a week-long accumulation there, rather than a continued push down. So last week we've had the reversal alert and we're stuck. So I'm hoping that this propulsion gap is going to be used to propel this back up to come and take profit up here. So I'm targeting at the moment getting up at that level there. We've got a lovely support coming up down here from the last month. So there's going to be limit orders at 225 ADR. But you know, it's just not really going anywhere either, sideways. So we're just stuck at the moment waiting for a move. So that was the entry from there. Didn't quite get enough to get out. Sorry, that was the first entry there. Just haven't had an opportunity to get out of it, basically. So sitting there at the moment waiting for that. Either they're going to test this monthly level this week. If they do, I'll put another one on and obviously bring the average down and then get out here. But if this is going to be a higher low in market structure, this is where we should be going from. So this is a lovely deep pullback on a potential long. CAD Swiss, sideways, dead. Nothing you can do with this. Absolutely dead as a doornail, you can see. So range bound at the moment. Look at this range. Yeah, this is last month's range. The entire month. We did 134 pips range in a month. It's just dead. You can't trade it. Swiss franc at the moment is just dead. So yeah, even though we've had news on the CAD, obviously it's just not moving. So we're waiting for the Canadian news on Wednesday, which will hopefully kick the Canadian into action a little bit. But at the minute, dead. But if we get that expected interest rate and the Bank of Canada come out in the press conference and don't really say anything positive or negative, and it's basically the usual, we'll wait and see what the inflation figure does next time round, but it's under control, meaning if this stays under 2%, we will drop this again. The market is only going to go bear on it, isn't it, on the CAD, which means that obviously that moves down against the Swiss franc. So I'd much rather be shorting this than longing it if it gave a signal, but I haven't had any reason to get into this. So again, even on the hourly, you had an opportunity there. There was one there, but it's just not moving enough really to give us any sort of indication as to what to do with it. All the euros bearish at the moment, so you can see this slightly messy position that I had on, which was quite nice. Half a Batman. That's a really badly drawn Batman, but we have got half a Batman, which is now turning into a Batman. So bearish. Australian dollar bullish to neutral, euro bearish. So looking for shorts on this. But again, the euro struggling a little bit to move at the moment, isn't it? We're not getting an awful lot of movement out of it. 4 hour. That was the entry there. Short. There's no reason why it shouldn't continue to be bearish. So better off taking shorts than longs. However, it can go either way, this one. It's right to be short at the moment on the euro because they're dropping interest rates. They've hit inflation target. Lagarde has come out and told us that they're going to continue to drop interest rates. So yeah, absolutely fine to be shorting this. This is long at the moment. But if they come out and say, do you know what? Let's say the inflation drops by 0.6% next month on the Australian, they'll be dropping those interest rates, which will make that bearish. And if that happens at the time when Lagarde comes out and says we're going to stick our interest rates, this is going to fly. So you should be able to trade this in either direction, but more bias is going to be on the short side. But again, waiting for signals. So ADR hits to the upside, reversal alerts short are your best plays on those at the minute. Euro CAD, same thing. This is a bear against a bear. Trading this in either direction. So I had one there, again, just on the RSI extensions. These are both bearish. No reason why you shouldn't be able to just continuously take this bearish in either way. So yeah, just waiting for a setup really. 4 hour, that was the last short here, and there was a long just about, literally just tapped the 80 level there. There was also a long there, but I didn't take that one. So yeah, just waiting really to see if we can get a push up into these highs and then shorting it out of that on that one. But that will probably come off the news. Euro Swiss, same as all the other Swiss, totally sideways and stuck. So again, there's the low and the high of last week. Previous week's high and low, previous week's high and low. So you got an inside bar on an inside bar. So 2 inside bar setup. So we're contracting, coiling, ready for a breakout. So breakout on this, more likely to be bearish. So again, looking for shorts. Any pushes up into ADR, any pushes up into RSI extensions to the upside. Just not really getting any movement. Again, stuck. Everything's stuck, isn't it? Euro pound. So this is a real mess, this thing. I've been in 2 trades on this in the last couple of months, which have taken forever because we seem to be just reacting on news and then doing nothing. Reacting on news, doing nothing. Reacting on news, admittedly, that did come back to origin. So that actually did do something after the news this time for a change. But last couple of times it hasn't. So at the moment, obviously, this is one of the smallest ADR pairs out there. It's only got 34 ADR. So it's very, very tight. That's bearish. Bailey is expected to confirm much more bearish movement on the pound moving forward. So as far as I'm concerned, you can trade this in either direction fundamentally. So this is going to go bearish. This is bearish. So it's a case of who's got the best news, and it will just move with the news. So I don't mind which way really I trade this. It's just one of those pain in the backside instruments where it takes an awful long time to play out usually. Saying that, I had a long there from last week and I got out on the news within 24 hours. But obviously that's a bit of a, that was just nicely timed, happened to get in the day before the news, which happened to go the right way. Yeah, so but yeah, that's sideways, but either direction on that really. Euro New Zealand again sideways for the last week or two. We're up at the highs which we've tested and we're just stuck sitting here at the moment. So this is potentially a flag break long. Both of these are bearish, could be traded in either direction. So just waiting for signals really. Had a short there which I decided to get out of because we had big news coming. Glad I did. I had a little bit too much New Zealand exposure on, which is why I took, well, that should have been a break even, but I got slipped by my broker. So yeah, sitting there waiting for something to happen. As you can see, just very, very, very little opportunity at the minute. Stuff's moving up and down intraday with spiky news moves and then just sitting around doing nothing for a long time. It's just what the market is at the minute. Euro US dollar, we kind of covered. Got out of one long on Friday. Still holding long, just waiting for this weakness to come through on the US dollar. So it's a dicey time, this US. I really not sure what's the impact is going to be from the elections. So we're getting close now. It's a few weeks away, a couple of weeks away for the elections. So just have to wait and see what happens with that one, won't we? Pound. So got out of a short on that one on Friday, which didn't really move much on the news. I was waiting for it to just, I was expecting this type of move to kick in. A nice big strong trend. We got a news pullback 100%, news pullback 100%. Yeah, struggling because this is bullish, which means it should be going down, but it's not. And this should be bearish, but Bailey won't tell us what's going on. So we will be getting a downward move on this at some point. So looking for short opportunities. If this continues to rally today, I wouldn't mind taking it. So it's obviously not stuck. So yeah, looking for short opportunities really on this one. So if we push up into last week's high and test that, might get a signal short. Just missed a signal short on it last week. Actually, no, I got that one. Sorry, yeah, of course I did. Got that one. But yeah, just waiting for that to drop down basically. Pound CAD, very much the same. Would rather be short than long on this one at the moment because I think when the pound drop starts, it's going to be very quick. Because we're so high, those interest rates at 5% are far too high. So it's going to be a 0.5% drops from day one, I think, on the pound. But we need Bailey to confirm it. So very nice trades on this as usual. It's very nice, and we put a lower high in now, higher low there, so we're contracting. So expecting this to break to the downside. So be looking more for shorts than longs. Pound Swiss, sideways, same as all the other Swissies at the minute. We just had a horrible reversal alert after 3 days long, which means it's just contracting sideways, so it's not doing anything. So nothing exciting happening on that one. Pound New Zealand is very much the same as the pound odd. If you look at these two, yeah. So with the big run up, not really gone anywhere. Same with the pound New Zealand. So again, these are very similar pairs, yeah. So the big run up, not really gone anywhere. So just trade one or the other. If you get any signals on the pound New Zealand or the pound odd, just turn off the EA on the other one. But there was a short there, as you can see, which I was in as well. But yeah, not really going anywhere. Again, another week of absolute nothingness followed by a news event. So it's just dire at the minute. But yeah, no signals on that. It's either going to head up into test that previous high, or it's going to come down and retest this double bottom. The more times you test a level, the less strength is there. So We'll probably be breaking down into that level. This should go bearish. We're just waiting for Bailey, as I say, to open his mouth. Pound US dollar, no trades on this at the moment. It's just had a reversal alert long, but of all the pound pairs, this is the one, even if that US dollar does start to weaken this week, which we are very long overdue for, some kind of profit taking pullback move on the US number. If Bailey does come out and say that we're dropping the rates on the pound at some point soon, we're going to go more bearish probably on this than we will on the US dollar. So I see this kind of getting stuck potentially down here, but very hard to call the pound US dollar at the moment because we've got that massive US strength. You can see the difference here. Look, we've had that really big strong US move where everything else has kind of come down a lot. This didn't do the same thing, did it? So this is due a really fast sort of pullback. So if we get another push up into the highs this week, I'll be looking for shorts on that, which would be nice because that means that the US dollar's weakened, which will get me out of my US positions, and then I can re-enter short on that. New Zealand CAD, out of that one week before last, no trades last week. Last week was basically open, news, close back where we started. So didn't do anything. It's not doing anything, is it? So we're down at the lows at the minute. Long term on this is bear up against the bear at the minute. We'll find out obviously what the CAD's doing on Wednesday, but upside target and downside target from where we are. So take your pick. It's going to one of those. At the minute, it's just not going anywhere. So it's more bullish than bearish at the moment. So, but this is all going to change on Wednesday with the interest rates on the Canadian. So be interesting to see what they say about that one when we get the press conference. Another Swiss pair sideways. All the Swissies are doing the same thing. New Zealand US, I've got longs on this at the moment. Got two positions on this one. Going to get into a third today. Well, I will get into a third today if it pushes down. Obviously, you can see what's been happening on this. We went into a kind of wide range and then we've contracted for 3 days. So we're stuck. I'm looking basically for another long at the lows. So you can see the next long entries here, which is basically last week's low and the previous week's low. So this is the previous week's low here. This is last week's low. This is the low from Thursday. So this whole area here is acting as very nice support at the moment, but we haven't got enough momentum to get a buy move started. So target at the minute for me is back up at these highs, which is 200 ADR away. My average is kind of up here, which will be dropping if we get down here today and I can get another position. I'll be dropping back down somewhere here. So that gives me a beautiful exit in this propulsion move. So if we're going to stay range bound, we're going to come up and test this high and test this propulsion again. That's what I want. So I want this to drop a little bit further today so I can get another position on. That will give me a nice easy out on that. Got 2 minutes to go and then I've got to start the new stream. US dollar CAD. Got out of one short on that. As we know, US dollar CAD parabolic. Short, waiting to see what happens with this one today if we get some movement. But, this is well within ADR, as you can see. Loads of room. That's ADR to the upside. So, yeah, I'm waiting to see what happens here. So I'll be getting an aggressive move on here and hoping that we get limit orders from last week triggering to re-add into this position. Or it's just going to put a lower high in and we're going to break out below that low. Yeah. So either way, it's looking good at the minute from a price action perspective. Just need today to answer the question as to where it's going. And US dollar Swiss, you can see how strong this US is. It's beaten the Swiss back and the Swiss has been sitting around everywhere else doing nothing. So had a short on that, which I got out of at break even again on the news last week. So waiting for a signal. I wouldn't mind taking a short on this, but it's just not quite got where I want it to be. Nice divergence here. Again, we'll be talking about divergence today. But there's a nice divergence on there for a push back down on this US dollar. And, it should really be doing that. but it's just struggling. Everything is just struggling. It's not like it used to be, this market. We are push, stop, rather than push, pull at the moment. Do you know if the inflation data on trading economics is quarterly, monthly, or yearly? It's quarterly. Market looks at quarterly level, quarterly information. You can tell, look, June, July, August, September. Yeah, so it's but yeah, most markets look at quarterly numbers because they're the good interim gauge. Right, that's it for today. So there's nothing much else going on at the minute. As you can see, dashboards are dead. No ADRs, no RSIs. So so far the market hasn't moved. Breakout long on the DAX hasn't really gone anywhere. Dead, isn't it? Look, it's just dead today. Monday. It's Monday. There's no news, and we are the day before the day where there's no news. The day before the news. So Wednesday is when it's all going to start. So nah, at the minute, isn't it? Right. So if you're coming into the member streams, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. We are doing indicators today, looking at the similarities between them all, what they're telling you, the 3 different types. Kind of just getting an understanding for them, basically, is what we're going to do. Just really reaffirming that it doesn't matter which one you pick, really. That's the whole premise of today, is like, yeah, pick one. Doesn't matter which. They'll do the same thing. They'll tell you the same thing. So that's what today's going to be all about, basically. Hopefully to help people stop system hopping. That's the idea behind today's session and this week's sessions. And then at the end of the week, obviously, we're going to start looking at daily trading strategies. So, all right. So anything else you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord. But I'll be back in 5 minutes if you're coming into the member streams. If you're not, hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.